Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, my name's Jen and I am a self-taught nail enthusiast. First off, I want to start by apologizing for being gone for the last couple weeks. I had gotten really sick for like 2 weeks straight, and then we were going on vacation. By the time I got back, I was already exhausted from traveling, so I just took off like the rest of last week. But I am back, and today I have this amazing Polygel Starter Kit from Rosalind, I believe is how you say the company, and I have already started using it, and I gotta say, I'm liking it. So how about I go ahead and show you how I did the rest of these fingers and show you everything that is in this kit. Let's go. Alright, so when you open the kit, this is what it looks like, and this is their brand new starter polygel kit. So I chose the color soft pink, and it came with two, at first I thought were glitters, but they're actually just finely chopped up foils, and then you get your base coat and your top coat, and you also get a dampen dish, but I was using it, so I put everything back in to make it like nice and neat, but I was using all of this stuff before. Then you get some clips. And today I actually used paper forms. So I do save these clips. I'll usually like chuck them in like my giveaway boxes or something like that. I usually only need like one because I typically just do like one finger at a time. And then we get some dual forms. Again, I usually throw these in giveaway boxes because you guys tell me to, so I do. But these are like super curved, not really my style of nails, but I know some people like that, and that is totally fine. And then we got some really pretty stickers. I'm contemplating on whether or not to use some of these today because I really do like these gold ones. If not, they'll go in my little sticker book and you'll see them in the future, I'm sure. And then of course you get your dual-ended brush that has your spatula and your brush, which I'm just gonna take out. And then the 180 grit file, I have not used that yet. And then of course there is an instruction booklet, and it just tells you how to use it, and it also tells you how to like apply the glitter and the stickers and stuff, which I thought was really cute. And it also tells you how to remove it. So this one says that you must file off the surface, and yeah, it just says use a portable drill to remove the polygel nail. So this is not a soak off product. Most polygel isn't. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna set up my space, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I've kind of set everything up here. Today, like I said, I'm using paper forms, and these ones I got off Amazon like a long time ago. I'll try to link them down below. I know it's been a while on my channel since I have used forms, but I gotta say I really liked it, and I kind of want to get back into it. So some of my fingers are weird, and so like for my thumb and my middle finger, I actually had to trim this part off, but then like the other ones I didn't. So I don't know until I like go to place it on, and I just kind of give it like a little wiggle, and then I just kind of put it under my finger to see if I'm gonna need to cut those pieces out. But I think I'll be okay with this. Like with my thumb, I have a lot of like not excess, but I just have a lot of skin like around my cuticle area and my sidewalls and stuff, but I don't think I'm gonna need it for that finger. So I just fold like these tabs down, and then I stick my finger in here, and I just try to line up this black line with the center of my nail, and then whoops, I'll pinch that, and then I kind of just like walk my fingers along, and I'll press these together, or I'll press them down, and then I pinch underneath, and that looks good to me. And from the side you can see that it's under my nail, but there's not like a huge space between it. Like it kind of just sits like right on top of that form. So that's what you're looking for. I am not like the best teacher of how to like put on forms. The person that I learned from was Susie, so you can check her out. I know Young Nails does a lot of videos on it, and Kiara Sky has some really educational videos too, so feel free to go check out their channels. I am not the queen of forms. So anyways, so the way I started this look was actually I just hit it with a little bit of my swipe. So I'm just gonna grab a little cloth here. I just washed my hands again before I started filming, so I'm just gonna hit it with a little swipe. That just kind of dehydrates the nail, gets any oils off. And then I use my protein bond Trying to avoid the skin. Yes, I did nip myself there. I have super thin cuticles, so I'm always like hurting myself. I want to grab the base coat, and I'm going to put a layer of base coat down and cure that. I thought this would be like a super easy DIY nail look to go along with like a starter kit, and yeah, I honestly really like it. It's so cute. I can't wait to top coat it. I'm actually using like a glitter that I had that matched with this foil perfectly, and it just like kind of all blended in together really nicely, and I liked it. I chose not to use the red one because I feel like it's not 4th of July anymore, so I didn't want to like mix the red and blue, so I just stuck with the blue, and I like that. So I'm just gonna finish curing this and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm going to start with the foil. Whatever you do, don't breathe heavily around this stuff. No joke. Alright, I feel like my nails are a little uneven, so the form kind of keeps slipping around. So I wasn't using that brush to get this. I was just using like an old polygel brush that I had. I'm just going to dip into the slip solution and just kind of like wipe the brush off, but it'll still be wet enough to pick up the foil. And then I'm just going to place this back in the cuticle, and I just try to set it down into that sticky layer of top coat, and you can move it if you need to. Like I kind of just moved it with the spatula part to like move it back if it got a little too far down, because if that happens then it kind of shows through with the polygel. I learned that the hard way with my pinky, that if you go a little too far with this stuff, then you need to like, I had to do a few extra coats of polygel in order to hide it. So just kind of trying to create like a half moon around the cuticle. Again, I feel like this is kind of going out a bit too far, so I'm just gonna push it back a little bit. I kind of like to leave a little bit of like an empty space for the glitter to go. I like this. I do want to move some of this back a bit, but the spatula is being a little stubborn right now. Just want to get rid of that piece right there. Okay. I want like just a smidge over here. Just a little smidgerooski. So I'm going to take that guy right there and place him right here. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm gonna do like a little bit of a cure. I'm sorry guys if this is not focusing. I feel like anytime there's something in view, it just doesn't want to focus on my nail. I hope that's better now. So if you can see, if I can bend my hand, it's not quite working, but I just did like a half moon of the foil itself, and I'm gonna do like a 10-second cure, and then I'm gonna top coat it again and not cure it and add in the chunky glitter. All right, so now I'm gonna dip this brush into the chunky glitter, and I just kind of put that on top. And I'm just sort of filling in any gaps, but also I just think it looks nice with the two of them. It just adds like that little bit of dimension that you're looking for when you do something like this. I didn't have like really any other like complementary colors to this blue, so I just tried to find something that was close enough to the shade that it wasn't, I don't know how to explain. It just went well together. I don't know. I didn't have any other colors of like chunky glitters that I felt like really went with this dark of a blue. So that's why I chose to just go with like similar shades. They're not exactly the same, but they're close enough that no one's gonna really notice. All right, so I just want to get like something tiny like right over there, and then I think I'm good. Oh no, I'm using the wrong brush. Dang it. I don't want to mess up my brush. Okay. Don't worry about the glitter that gets on your skin. You can always wipe that off before you cure. I'm gonna just try to push some of this back here, and just keep it like in that cuticle area, and then I'll just use the back of the brush to kind of like scrape anything off that's really like, or just try to push it back in there. This does not want to come off, so I'm just gonna take my finger and go like that and just scrape it off, and then just kind of do my best to sort of move things around so they're in the right spot and covering, you know, far enough down that it creates a nice sort of fade almost. You know, you'll kind of see like the tip. I haven't filed these two yet, so don't judge them, or my thumb either, but I just like the way that it's just kind of peeking out a little bit, you know, through the polygel. So that's what we're going for. All right, I'm gonna cure this and then I will start putting the polygel on. Okay, it is time for the polygel now. So I'm just going to take a little bit on here, and I just put it directly on there. I don't really use the spatula that often. I just don't think it works that great. So I'm just gonna put my slip solution over here, so I've got it. And you will see very quickly that this stuff is so easy to work with. It is not sticky. I just want to get that off my finger there. It is not sticky at all. Like, I rarely have to go back in. I'm gonna try to do this on the side, but it's hard to do it that way, but I'm going to try my best. I need a little bit because I wiped it off, all right? So I just kind of move it off to the sides first, and then I start pushing it up towards the cuticle. And it's going to be very translucent at first. I usually do about 2 coats of polygel, and then I clear cap it in order to get the desired opaqueness. And I feel like this would be a little more opaque if I weren't doing such short nails, but you need this area to be quite thin. I feel like when you are doing short nails, you know, you don't need this huge apex or anything like that on such short nails. So I just kind of pat and get everything into the shape that I want before I cure it, because then I'm going to take the form off. And maybe I won't need to, I'm sure I'll need to take some of this off because it's looking a little thick right now, but you never know. I have done this 5 times already, so kind of just pulling back now to really cover this area up. And the reason why I have a paper towel down today, A, my desk is really dirty, but also I just feel like with polygel, you're wiping so much. Like, those little wipes just don't work for me. Just trying to refine my shape. And I went to the first line on all of these, so that's why they're so short. I don't know, I kind of just felt like doing a short nail look. It's been a while since I've done a short nail look, and you know what? There are definitely some of you that watch me that are not into like the crazy long nails and the crazy embellished nails, and I know that. I'm not always into that either. Like, when I went on vacation, I just had like my natural nails with a little bit of like builder gel on top and some hot pink nail polish. I know, who is she? I just need to look at this really quick to get the right side here, but feeling pretty happy with this. I am gonna just thin this part out, and I will just nip it off when we're done, because I am definitely gonna have to go in here with like a second coat. I put a bit too much on here, and I just want to thin this out a little bit. So okay, so that I'll just cut right off or file off. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about the way it's looking currently. I think I might have like too much polygel back here. I want to keep that uncovered. Like, I don't want to cover it up with the polygel. So it is very self-leveling, I will tell you that. The more that you kind of play with it, it can get a little annoying because it wants to level. So I think I'm happy with the way that looks, and I'm gonna go ahead and cure it. All right, so now that this layer is cured, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pinch this and remove the form. And I'll just toss that to the side for now. And now I'm gonna put my second layer on. So I thinned it out down here because it was getting a little too covered up here. I know I had way too much on. All right, so I'm gonna put another like small, I would say a small bead. Like really this part is just to get that opacity that I'm looking for, because I'm gonna clear cap it and that's where I'm gonna get like my apex from. So now that that form is gone, I can hold my hand like this again. And I'm just kind of patting it to the sides as much as I can. I'm not so much worried about the coverage up here, so I'll just like slightly pat it up top just to get like another thin layer up there. But that means it's 10 o'clock and it is my bedtime, guys. But here I am working for you, trying to get this video out, guys. I honestly feel so bad. I'm not even gonna bring it down that far. I'm actually gonna just kind of try to keep it in this area because I know how long it should be. So let's see. Yeah, I do want to try to like round this off a bit if I can. So maybe I'll push a little bit up there. I'm telling you guys, this is very good polygel. I was a little scared because I looked at some of their other polygels and they did not have the best reviews. Now, that could be one of two things. In my opinion, I have never liked using those plastic dual forms because the nails literally come off in like 30 seconds. I'll be like trying to file them and the nails just don't want to stay on. So it could be that partially, or I mean, polygel it's a finicky product. Sometimes if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have like proper adhesion, it definitely like has a tendency to not stay. If you don't prep your nails correct, to the extent that's of some of the reviews that like they were pretty bad, and I don't know, I'm not seeing that. I feel like my nails are adhered quite nicely. Like I feel good about this, so I really don't know if this is a different formula. Maybe I am really liking it. All right, this is the final cure on this, and then I kind of file them a little bit, then put the clear cap on. Like I'll file the sidewalls and the free edge just so I know what shape I need and I don't use like too much of the clear. Whew, so that's what I'm gonna do now. Okay, so this didn't come with a clear, so I'm just using my Macart clear because I've got about, I don't know, 15 bottles of it at this point. So I just put this bead toward the back of the nail as close as I can get it, and then I just pat it out over the nail and try to create a nice shape with it. I may have to add more, it just depends. I may not use all of this. Just depends on the shape that I get and if I'm happy with it. For some reason, I've been getting lots of air bubbles with it lately, so that's been kind of driving me nuts. But Macart is definitely a stickier polygel. I don't hear a lot of people complain about that, but I find their polygels to be really sticky. Like I end up going through a lot of slip solution for Macart. Every once in a while, you'll get a blue glitter that just somehow wound up in there. I did do a little bit of like, I told you, like pre-filing, so you can see the shape's a little better than it was before. So I'm just guiding like any excess down to the end of the nail and really just making sure that it's very packed into. All right, what's going on now? Macart. Macart does not like slip solution for some reason, but I'm just really trying to make sure this is pressed close into that cuticle area. I will obviously go in and clean that up during filing. So now I'm just looking at the actual nail itself and just seeing where I need to guide that polygel. I try to do a good enough job when I'm working on polygel nails that I have like minimal filing to do when I'm done. I got a lot on the sides, but not a lot in the middle. So let's see if I can sort of coerce this over a bit. Alright, well, I think I'm happy with that. Okay, time to cure. And then I will go ahead and just do all the filing, and I will come back and top coat it with you guys on camera. I cannot wait to see it. Seriously. Okay guys, are you ready to see this is the finished look, and I'm quite happy with it. Now, you will see on the pinky that I pulled the glitter down a little too far. I tried to rectify my mistake. It didn't really work. I did learn from that with the other nails, and I'm quite happy with this. I think it's really beautiful, and I am so pleasantly surprised with this polygel. Like, I was going into this kind of thinking this was gonna suck, I'm not gonna lie, but I actually think this was one of like the easiest polygels to work with. The slip solution worked really well. It almost has this like oily consistency to it, but it worked really well with the polygel. I didn't have to use like my base coat or anything. I really loved it. I do want to play around with these stickers. They are gonna go in my sticker book because they are all super gorgeous. I just didn't end up using them today because it just didn't really go with the look. Now, currently this is $22.99 on Amazon, and it comes in 3 different styles. You can get clear, opal, and this soft pink that I used today. Opal is kind of like a translucency white color. I don't really know how to explain it. It's almost got like a shift in colors, but it's very pretty. Again, this is a new kit, and they are basically sending it out to try, you know, to have people try it out for them, and I really enjoyed it. So I would highly recommend this for someone that is starting out. I think this is a very easy, beginner-friendly polygel to work with because it almost self-levels and like does the work for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if there are any other things that you would like me to review on my channel, please comment down below and let me know. Before you leave, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. It's free. You don't have to do anything, and you can hit that bell notification button to be reminded of when I have my next video. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.